Alright, hello all the crazy people out there. My name is Dragonite. Welcome back to Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Last time we arrived in Champa Camp, which is this little encampment on the southeast coast of the big old continent whose name I can't remember. And this is where the people of Champa have fled to after the Golden Sun incident. So, I'm not 100% clear on where I have to go after this, but since apparently this entire section of the continent is new to me, like I haven't been here on foot before, I figure that there's probably some merit to the idea that maybe if I were to go walk this way, I would find something interesting. Is this, oh, I sort of remember what this is. The Ankol Ruins, I think, from the Lost Age? I'm pretty sure it was the Ankol Ruins because the joke was like Angkor Wat. And, if this was Xenoblade Chronicles, this would be the dungeon that was between the foot and underneath the knee. Let's see. So if I go this way, you look like you've had better days. The remains of some unfortunate soul, you could say that again. What is this? That is a torch. Can I douse that torch and make something happen? Maybe I can douse that torch and make something happen. I cannot climb up there. Alright. Can I jump down? I can't jump down. Let's douse the torch and see if anything happens. Synergy, that would be this guy. Nope, nothing happened. Oh wait, can I go around? I think I can go around. That's a pot. That is just a series of, like, level cliffs, and I can go around. Alright, what do you have to say? You guys feeling okay? If the fires go out, Obaba won't last. We have to keep finding more fuel to keep her safe. Okay. If the old lady would just come down and join the rest of us, she'd be easier to protect. So, I guess I believe I asked at the end of the last video, like, where exactly Obaba was, because I did not, like, see her in town. And, I guess today we're gonna answer that question. What is this? Is that a cave? This is a cave. Oh, this is Champa. This is an Ankol Ruins. I see the name on the map there. Let's go run up this way, and is this a lock? It is a lock. So if I find a key, a big fancy key, I guess I know where to come. Alright, let's go back outside. Anything around the side of this, this area? My view is obscured by the construction over here, so I can't really see, but I was hitting the A button in the corner, and I don't think I was finding anything. So, let's go and leave that area. Can I climb on these barrels? I cannot climb on these barrels. Alright. Hello? There we go. So, at the very least, I know that if I find a key, I can probably go back in that direction and do something with it. So here we have a ring of 6. I've played enough Golden Sun to know what you do with a ring of 6. The gravestone feels cold to the touch. Let's go use Reveal. Spirit Sense? Who has Amidi has Reveal. Let's go and use Reveal. I can Spirit Sense here. Alright, so I actually am gonna have to use this one, which... Oh no, Track. Track was the one that I was saying I don't think I've ever used since I acquired it in the first time around. Can I use it here? Maybe something will happen. No? Alright, Spirit Sense it is. Spent my whole life at sea and somehow managed to die on land. What are the odds? Alright, so that's just going to be the epitaphs. Or perhaps the final thoughts of the people who are buried here. Never did I get my proper land legs. If I'd been on a ship with when that big wave hit, I would have been fine. Alright, do I want to read all these? I don't get the feeling that reading these is going to tell me anything more than some fairly minorly comedic lines of the last thoughts of these sailors here. What's with all the darkness? I only visited the material world for a little sunshine. Yeah, it doesn't sound like I'm gonna get any, like, plot or anything that I really need to do, out of those. So let's continue upstairs. Alright, are you another dead body? You're another dead body. And... random vase, pot, whatever. Nothing there. Out of curiosity... Can I put out your fire? Will you be mad at me if I put out your fire? Apparently not. Don't know if I'm too far away or if I'm not on the right level or what have you, but let's go this way, and... Alright, nothing around there. That house is, very definitively destroyed. And I think let's just go in the cave. So if we go in here, this is the sea caves, where not all, but I believe the families of the sailors were living in the Lost Age. There's a lot of things that are on fire here. That's a water of life. I want to use that on your on some of your furniture. Let's see. If I go this way, by the way, is that actually, so I can go up there? All right. Looked kind of ruined, so I wasn't sure. But that is going to be a barrel which is unremarkable and empty. I don't believe... A well-built wooden box. Well, well-built except for the fact that it's, like, on fire. I'm kind of curious. If I were to go back and compare the floor plan of the Champa Caves here, would it line up with the, like, the layout of the caves from the Lost Age? Alright, so we can just boing our way across here. What is this? That is plot. Eoleo. I got this one. My thermal synergy can create a solid updraft of warm air. It doesn't work everywhere, but it's great in a spot like this. Okay. Cool. So that's the elevator synergy. Here we have growth. So where am I? I'm in the back of the party now. I guess I can do this to create a little shortcut. So at the current moment, the list of spells that we want to do in Wizarducks and the Lost Hat isn't finalized. We have talked... Munin and I have talked briefly about doing something that's sort of like that thermal synergy. Don't know if it'll actually happen. I'm not 100% sold on, like, how often that sort of thing would be useful in a game like Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, but it's a consideration. There doesn't seem to be anything in here besides another dead body. Alright. It's an empty pot. Wait, there's a stove. I want to check the stove. No? Alright, well, it was worth a try. So let's go, where did I come from? Down there? So let's go this way. I believe this is the only way forward. And if I step up here... Yeah, I'm like 95% sure this is the same floor layout as the Champa Caves in the Lost Age. Great Grandma! That voice, Eoleo. Got quite the assembly coming out. 8 party members plus 1 Kraden. Well, well. Here, I thought you'd been captured by Beastmen, and it turns out you were just making friends. Wait, you? Hello, Obaba. Alright, so you've got a little bit of a third-person narrator going on there. I haven't seen you in 30 years. Yes, the old man, I remember you. Cradle or something? But you look the same as you did then. How could that be? It's Kraden, actually. It's also a long story. Before you guys get started, I got something I gotta say. Can I say my piece? I don't know. Sounds like I'm not going to like it, but I suppose I'm going to find out eventually anyway. During the Battle of Morgul, Dad... Briggs put up a good fight? Yeah, he sure did, Great Grandma. So he's gone ahead of me. Seems like your Obaba is doomed to unhappiness. I suppose I'll be following him soon enough. I'll be sure to give him a good talking to when I see him. Well, that's cheery. Now, Kraden, you're exposed to the golden sun, and now you can't age. Does that sum it up? Well, yes. I see he's given up on explaining the, well, actually we do age, but just slowly sort of thing. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, it's not that important of a plot point, and we've already discussed it like 20 times in this game so far. To live so long and bones already old, I don't envy your gift. So, who are the rest of you? Perhaps the ragtag group of scrappy here is out to stop this nasty eclipse, eh? Good. As the old man can tell you, I have a knack with fire in the forge. If you find any interesting materials, bring them to me, and I'll make you gear you can't get anywhere else. We've got a couple of those. I'm going too, Great Grandma. See you around. I thought as much. Good luck. So, we've spoken to Obaba, and now you got some pretty rare materials there. If you want some metal work done, I'm your woman. So, who actually has them? The mithril silver in Hemi's bag. That's a forgeable item. Yeah, let's do that. come back later and see. So does that mean that I've just gotta, like, leave the area and come back, which was the case with the blacksmith in the last game? I'm gonna assume that that's the case. Let's go and grow this downwards. There was a little bit more exploring that I wanted to do inside. I don't know if any of it's actually gonna lead anywhere, because this is evidently, you know, where we were supposed to go. But I can go, actually... Alright, I'm gonna want the thermal synergy again. And then I can, instead of sliding down, I can climb down the vine. And I think that'll bring me back to the beginning. And I will attempt to leave the area and come back. Alright, so I'm still gonna have to do a little bit of walking to backtrack on my own, because there isn't a, like, complete shortcut back to the beginning, but it's definitely better than having to run through the caves back and forth a couple of times. Alright, see you in a moment. So before I do go on and talk to Obaba again out this way, let me go up here and see if there's anything... Alright, so we're gonna continue. Oh, that's that big hole in the ground that salamander jumped out and attacked us from in the last game. I remember that. That's some mint. Alright. Let's go see. What is mint? Mint is agility, I think? Mint... Agility. Alright. Who do I want to give agility to? I think I said that if I can get people's agility stats up to 300, I should be fairly confident that they'll get to go first in battle most of the time. Yeah, alright. Good times. Is this the first location from Golden Sun The Lost Age that we're directly coming back to? Like, this is the actual pit that we fought the salamander over in The Lost Age. I think this is the first location from The Lost Age that we're directly coming back to. Not sure if we've revisited any locations from the original Golden Sun, because it's been so long since I played that one. I don't know if I would recognize any off the bat, but... let's see. That's just a pot. It's just an empty pot. Oh, look, there's a key on the table. I wonder if that could be possibly relevant to the locked door downstairs. Cave door key. Indeed. What's this? That looks like a map. I cannot get a good view of the map, though. Swords on the wall. Water of Life possibly up there. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it was in, like, a golden file, and that's what Water of Life usually lives in. Alright, now let's go back and talk to Obaba. So, you are going to give us a mithril armlet. You didn't charge us for that, I noticed. The blacksmith in the Lost Age charged us. What else? Because I know Quality Zol, I believe Quality Zol is a forgeable item. Alright. Do I want to do all of this now? Alright, I'm going to do all this now. So I'm going to give you the 3 Quality Zol. Verdant Sword. Zol Ring. Zol Tiara. And apparently that's all the forgeable items that I have. Alright, so let's go through our inventory and see what those things do. So, firstly, Himi's inventory. That was not one of the ones that I was looking at. The Verdant Sword is going to raise Himi's attack by a little bit. If I give that to other party members, Karis's attack is actually going to go up by, like, 30%. Eoleo's attack is going to double. Alright, you can have that. Yeah, nobody else is going to get the same gain as Eoleo out of that. The Mithril Armlet is going to raise Himi's defense by... what, maybe a little less than a quarter. If I give that to some other members of my party, that's going to be a 50% increase in defense over the Bone Armlet of Karis. I don't think the defense is not total, so it's not going to be like I've suddenly got 50% more calculated defense in battle, but this is a 50% increase of over what I've already got, the Bone Armlet. So that's pretty good. Reef is also going to see the same gain over the Silver Armlet. Amid is going to see some gain. Alright, so since Karis is actually the one in battle, let's give that to her. The Zol Ring is going to boost agility, apparently. I can equip that, but I don't have a ring, apparently. Nobody else has... Amid's got a Zol Ring. Anyway, I guess... I'll have Himi equip the Zol Ring for now. And there was one other, the Zol Tiara, right? So that's going to raise Karis' defense by a... not quite as much as what she got from the other thing. See, your defense is still 30 because that's what the defense stat of the individual hat item is, not of your total defense. Who else? Small gain for Himi. Slightly bigger, but still sort of small gain for Sveta. Nobody. Alright, so Karis is also going to equip this because that's the best that we can do there. Alright. We've got a bunch of de-equipped items now that I could probably sell, but we'll come back to that later. So, let me think. Where do I want to go after this? That didn't really give me any leads as to where to go. I'm not, well, oh, I guess there's a cave down below. I can go there. I don't know if that's going to be necessary or if that's just going to be like a bonus little area, but I'm going to go there anyway. I still wasn't really sure what I had to do in, what was it? In that little, like, catacomb area in Yamata, in Japan, in Izuma, whatever it was called. So I'm going to try and walk around a little bit more until I find something that I think maybe I can do with it. Himi has the cave door key. Let's use that. And now we can go through. Maybe we'll find another synergy there. Maybe we'll find... Okay. An updraft. And some treasure chests. So I'm going to have to use thermal on that. That is money. 88 coins. I'm not super concerned with money at this point in this game. That is more money. 8 coins, so 96 in total. And what's in here? What could it possibly be? More money, 6 coins. So that's going to be 102 coins in total. Synergy. So we did say that we were going to use thermal. And we're going to have Eoleo light up that. And we're going to go use that to just open up another chest. And that is a gold bar or Calcon. I'm fairly sure that that's going to be another forging item. Who got the ore Calcon? Yeah, alright. So we'll give that to Grandma, and we'll see what she makes out of that. So for the ore Calcon, we are going to get a Xyleon armor, and I remember that name from previous Golden Sun games, but I can't say I remember what it does. Himi can't equip that. It's going to boost attack. Eoleo, good defensive buff, and also a non-insignificant attack buff to Eoleo, too. Tyrell is going to see a similar gain. Although I think he's actually going to get a bit more of an attack buff from that. Oh no, it's 20 points. I thought that was 308 to 343, but that's 15 points rather. Alright. Font can be a little hard to read. And for me, that is going to... Alright, so it's pretty similar on everybody. I'm going to give that to Eoleo because he's actually the one in combat right now. Alright. Now let's get out of here, and we can see where we're going to go next. I don't think on this particular beach there's anything more for me to do. Unless I were to, like... No, we found Obaba, and that was, like, our quest for here. Maybe I should go back to Champa and talk to people, just in case anybody, like, changes what they say and do after you talk to her, but, yeah, there's not much more for us to do out here. And if we walk back to Champa, let's see. Is anyone going to say anything different now that we've now that we've paid Grandma a visit? I believe you people down here were talking about her. No? No? Alright. Worth a try. Let's head back to the world map. So this section over here, out east of Champa, this is just going to lead me back to... yeah, so this is, oh man, what was, Amidi's place from? I don't remember what Amidi's place was called. And up here, there's, King Woe, and... Ah, love that animation. What was that, the Galactic Bow? King Woe, and, I can't remember what his kingdom was called either. But we've been there before, and I don't think there was anything, that I wrote down that we could do that looked like... there was anything fun and exciting that you could do with new synergy, so let's get out of there. And if I sail around the other way, like the other way around the coast, we'll see if maybe we find something else. Alright, I'll cut back whenever I find anything interesting. Wait, Tonfun. Okay, I kinda... Yeah, time to go, sure. Hang on, let me finish that thought before I continue there. I thought momentarily that this was just the dock workers, I forget what that place was called too, because I have the memory of a goldfish. And I kind of just like sailed up to it by accident. I didn't know that that would trigger an entry into this dock area. But I guess we haven't been here yet. Your ship looks a little beat up, but I have to admit, I'm impressed by how smoothly it sails. Beat up? Don't tell me that. We just got it fixed. Well, Briggs just got it fixed anyway. Emperor Unan recently sent me some Sonnen ships north. Sent some Sonnen ships. Could you have picked any different letter to alliterate there? Anyway, they're a little late getting home. So this is Tonfun. We were told about this. By someone recently, I don't remember who it was. Those Lemurians are amazing. The ships they've rebuilt for us are an absolutely amazing craft. All right. So we've arrived in, like, I don't know, Imperial China or something like that. The ships were the pride of Sana, but after Lemurian refitting, we were ashamed of how much better they were. We got a Kirin water. What does that do? Again, I know that was something that appeared in the last game, but I don't remember what it did. 20 PP. Alright, as you can see, Eoleo's power points are running a little low because I was using synergy in the fights against at least the Shatter monsters. But I'm just gonna walk around and let them replenish on their own. Or just visit an inn because that's, like, so inexpensive to do at this point. Can't take a walk on the beach. Not really. If I go up this way, I saw there was a palatial-looking thing up in that direction, so I'll go there last. Oh, this is just going to put us out onto the overworld. Okay. Well, in that case, I know we were supposed to go to Tonfun eventually. And partially because I just want to explore, and partially because we're, what, 20-something minutes into a video, and I'm not really in the mood for another 15-minute cutscene. Let's just see what we can find out this way. Perhaps another one of those secret locked doors or a genie or something on the overworld. Let's see. So that's where we came from, and we can follow the path up this way. By the way, is it possible to run into genie in the shadow area? I don't think I've done that at any point so far in this game, like run into genie in the shadows, but who knows if that means that, like, there aren't any to be found, or if I just haven't found any yet. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence and all that. So we'll just proceed and be left to wonder. Anyway, is there anything else up here, or am I just gonna run around in the wilderness for a while? So that's a cave. Is that a cave I can get into? I see there is that weird glowing stuff again. I'm pretty sure I haven't been up here before. Alright, hang on. Before I do anything else, I should probably heal. Alright, so let's see what all this is about. So if I run up over here, this is like directly... Alright, so that's that endless wall, Great Wall of China, whatever it was called. So let's go circle around and, can I, like, maybe figure out what's going on here? Alright, so I'm gonna need to use Himi's power for that one. We can use Search. And that's gonna make a bridge materialize. Okay, let's go in here. That's exciting. That's something that we would not have been able to do prior to picking up Himi for our 8th and final party member. This is the adept must control emotion to maintain discipline and focus. Okay. That sounds like a challenge. I'm gonna end this off here. Next time we're going in and seeing what we find. This has been Golden Sun Dark Dawn. You should all go check out Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, which is one of the games that I like to work on when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Link to the Steam page can be found down below. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.